So, you've got it, right? That big idea, the one that keeps you up at night. Maybe it's the next huge startup or a project that could change everything. But then comes the hard part. How do you get that amazing idea out of your head and onto paper in a way that actually makes sense? That's the real challenge, and that's what we're going to tackle.
Look, it's the question every single entrepreneur asks themselves. Where do I even begin? How do you test it out, give it some structure, and most importantly, explain it to someone else without writing a 100-page novel nobody's going to read? Well, stick around because we're going to show you exactly how to build a super powerful one-page blueprint for pretty much any idea you can dream up.
Okay, so here's our game plan for the next few minutes. First up, what even is a business model? Then we'll get into the original blueprint, the one that kind of changed the game. We're going to do a deep dive into the most important part, your customer. After that, we'll see how these tools can change for different kinds of missions, and by the end of all this, you'll know exactly which canvas is the perfect fit for you. Let's do it.
All right, first things first. Before we get into all the cool tools, we have to get on the same page about what we're even talking about. A business model, it's not just about making money. Think of it more like the story of how your great idea actually creates value for other people.
And here's the, let's say, official definition from the guys who literally wrote the book on this, Alexander Osterwalder and Yves Pugnier. They say it describes the rationale. And that word, rationale, is so key. It's the logic, the how and why behind everything. How you create something awesome, how you get it to people, and how you capture a little bit of that value back to keep the lights on.
Okay, let's put that in plain English. Forget the jargon. At the end of the day, your business model just needs to answer 3 simple but super powerful questions. 1. What is your idea, really? 2. Who is it for? And 3. How is it going to make money? Seriously, if you can't nail down those 3 things, you don't really have a business model yet. You've just got a cool idea.
You can also think of it like this. Every single idea has to pass 3 big tests. First up is desirability. And the question is simple. Do people actually want this? Is there a real need? Next, feasibility. Can you actually build it? Do you have the skills, the tech, the resources? And finally, viability. Can this thing make money and sustain itself? You absolutely have to nail all 3. If even one is missing, the whole thing falls apart.
So the big question is, how do you map all of this out without getting totally lost in the weeds? Well, that's where this incredible tool comes into play. Let's take a look at the original blueprint that started it all.
And here it is, the business model canvas. It looks simple, right? It's just a single page with 9 boxes. But these are the 9 essential building blocks of any business. See how it's split? Everything on the right side is about your customer, who they are, how you talk to them, how you earn money from them. And everything on the left is the backstage stuff, how you actually run the business, your activities, your resources, and your costs. It's your entire business strategy right there on one page. So cool.
Okay, pro tip here, and this is maybe the most important piece of advice I can give you. If you're starting something new, just pretend the left side of the canvas doesn't even exist at first. Seriously, put all of your focus, all of your energy on the right side. Why? Because who cares about your partners or your costs if nobody actually wants the thing you're making? You've got to prove that customer part first.
And since that right side, the customer side, is so critical, let's really zoom in on that. Because honestly, everything in a great business model, I mean everything, starts and ends with deeply, truly understanding your customer.
I love this quote from Ash Maurya, who created a version of the canvas we'll talk about in a bit. He says, finding that intersection between your customer's problems and your solutions is how you create value. And that just nails it, doesn't it? Your job isn't to build a cool thing. Your job is to solve a real, painful problem for someone. That sweet spot where their problem meets your solution, that's where the magic happens.
So, how do you find that magic intersection? Well, one of the best tools for this is called the Customer Empathy Map. It's designed to force you to get out of your own head and step directly into your customer's shoes. You have to ask yourself, what are they seeing and hearing every day? What are they trying to do? And most importantly, what are their biggest pains? And what would be a huge gain for them?
And check this out for a real-world example of how powerful this is. Philips, the big electronics company, used empathy mapping for their MRI machines, and they discovered something huge. Kids weren't just a little scared of MRI scans. They were absolutely terrified. So what did they do? They didn't just try to make the machine a little bit quieter. No way. They completely redesigned the experience and turned it into an adventure. They even made this little toy, the kitten scanner, so kids could scan a toy animal first. It completely changed the game. Now that is empathy in action.
Okay, so the original canvas is awesome. It's a fantastic tool.
But what if your mission is a little different? What if you're a super lean, fast-moving startup? Or maybe you're building a social enterprise? Well, the great news is that one size doesn't have to fit all. The canvas itself has evolved.
Let's do a quick side-by-side. On one hand, you've got the original business model canvas. It's perfect for established businesses that are maybe exploring a new product line. But then you have the lean canvas. Notice how it swaps out some of the boxes? Instead of key partners and key resources, it puts front and center the things a startup obsesses about: the problem, the solution, your key metrics, and, my favorite, your unfair advantage.
And the whole philosophy behind this change is so simple, but it's also really profound. See, most startups don't fail because their tech is bad or they can't build the thing. They fail because they build a beautiful solution to a problem that nobody actually has. The lean canvas is designed to prevent that. It forces you from day one to become an expert on the problem long before you fall in love with your solution.
But what if your bottom line isn't just about profit? What if you're trying to make a real social impact? Well, there's a canvas for that too. The social business model canvas adds some really important new boxes. It makes you think about not just your customers, but your beneficiaries. It pushes you to define your social value proposition, figure out how you'll measure your impact, and plan what happens with any surplus. It basically bakes your mission right into the DNA of your model.
All right, so we've looked at 3 really powerful blueprints, which of course leads us to the big question: which one is right for you and your idea? Let's make this super simple. Here's a quick guide. Are you part of an established business, maybe looking at a new venture? Stick with the original business model canvas. It's built for that. Are you a startup, moving fast with a ton of uncertainty? The lean canvas is going to be your best friend, for sure. And finally, is your idea driven by a deeper purpose, a social or environmental mission? Then you'll want to grab the social business model canvas. It's designed just for that.
So there you have it. You've got the blueprint, you know which tool is the right one for the job. The only thing left to do now is to actually start. So the question isn't which canvas you should use anymore. The real question is, what's that first amazing idea you're going to sketch out?